Hey guys, it's me, Silent, and we have just finished the Arkham series. Well, okay, we haven't just finished the Arkham series, they've been finished for a little while. I've been putting off this recording because, well, honestly, I should have done a retrospective for each game as we went through, and I kind of let that slip, so I'm kind of just discussing the games all together now. I only completed the first three, so Arkham Asylum, City, and Origin. I haven't tackled Arkham Knight, I haven't looked at the Telltale Batman game yet, but I'll get to those in the future and I'll do individual videos for those when I do cover them. Now, when we look at Arkham, like just the Arkham series, I have to say, I tried playing through Arkham Asylum in the past, and I had trouble getting there. I got about an hour, maybe 2 hours into the game, and it just felt weak to me. Well, I wouldn't say weak, but I stopped playing and I just didn't come back to it for some reason. I couldn't tell you why, I just didn't play it. And that kind of didn't really sit well. When I tried coming back to it again and again, because I'd played through the beginning, I just wasn't gripped, I wasn't as interested as I could have been. And that's gotta be more my fault than anything, if I'm honest. So, that's no fault of the game. But then, one of my viewers asked me to play the game, so I sat down on a stream, played it through, completed it. So that was kind of the motivation I needed to actually sit down and complete Arkham Asylum. Finished one, just moved straight onto the next, and then onto the third. So I got through all of them pretty quickly. Well, I say pretty quickly, it was like 3 to 4 weeks per game. About 10 to 12 hours, depending. I had a hell of a time kind of playing it. I really enjoyed it once I got through them. Once I got past where I played on Asylum before, it just really flowed well for me. I had fun with the combat. The combat is really intuitive, and that's something that it's a little bit easy in my opinion. Just because you only really need to hit attack constantly and push in a direction for an enemy, you can create a safe space around you by pushing people back. So you don't even have to dodge, you don't have to counter anyone, you can just literally create a space and then keep people out of it. And that is admittedly kind of a bit easier. I would have liked a bit more depth to the combat than that. Because then when you get into, the boss fights, they just tend to scale in difficulty quite significantly because you have to get a completely different mindset, especially in things like Arkham City and Arkham Origin, where you've got bosses that will pay attention to what you're doing and you're not allowed to use the same type of moves more than once. That just kind of really changes things up quite significantly. Though I did enjoy the games a hell of a lot, I do have to admit they're not perfect. I tend to find, plot-wise, I can understand why Arkham City had Joker as the big bad, because it's kind of a follow-up to Arkham Asylum, so that's kind of understandable. But it just felt overused when he becomes the bad guy in Arkham Origins. I would have liked that if instead they'd had Batman kind of year one, finding his feet as a hero, maybe fighting against the mob, and they maybe start bringing in metahumans to fight against this crazy guy in a bat suit who starts kind of really putting a hurt down on them. And that just kind of, I don't know, the fact that it was Joker again, when I got to that reveal, I was just like, oh god, no. The fact that they were kind of hinting at Black Mask in Origin wasn't kind of Black Mask. It just started really kind of weighing down on me, and I just felt, Batman's got such an interesting rogues gallery. Why does it have to be Joker all the time? Now I understand in Arkham Knight, they've got someone else as the bad guy, and they've kind of gone from Batman's most overused enemy to someone who, doesn't have as much public eye knowledge as, say, any of the others. They could have taken anyone. They could have taken Bane or Two-Face, people who are compelling in their own rights, and made them the bad guy, and it would have been, just as interesting. They wouldn't have to done so much backstory for the main bad guy, I guess, but I don't know, that's just me. Now, the technology, I felt the detective mode was way overpowered and yet underpowered. It's something that, you could only use in specific instances, but it pretty much gave you the answers immediately. You knew if you had to use it, you knew where it was, and suddenly it's like, okay, this is a moment where you use detective mode, so obviously there's something to find. And it was so kind of Deus Ex Machina. It was literally just kind of, oh, there's something to find here, just click a button. Oh man, I can see into the past. I can see alcohol vapor. Alcohol should evaporate relatively quickly as far as I understand. Granted, my understanding of chemistry isn't what it used to be, but I thought alcohol's evaporation was pretty damn quick. So just like trace alcohol in the air shouldn't be hanging around that long. And the technology is the same way. We've got Arkham City where we get a freeze grenade, where we create a freeze grenade. But we've got essentially comparable tech in Arkham Origin, which is early Batman, or meant to be early Batman. So why don't we have the glue grenade in the previous games, which are set later? I would have just liked it if they ditched the glue grenade completely, not have anything kind of comparable. Again, this ties into my wanting Origin to be a origin story. That would have been... I guess they were going for origin of Batman and Joker, origin of a trilogy maybe, but I would have liked it to have been origin of Batman. So that's just kind of my takeaway from that. But as I say, all in all, I really did enjoy the series, and though I haven't played Night, I haven't played the Telltale games, they will come, they will get reviews later on, but considering for years I sat down thinking Arkham Asylum wasn't for me, I didn't enjoy it at all, but once I got past the mental block I had on it, all the fun just started flowing in, so I would go back and, I would suggest these games to any of my friends if they were asking. Granted, I expect most of my friends have already played them by now, but I would suggest them wholeheartedly just because now I've come away and completed them all. I'm like, hell yeah, that was fun. But hey ho. Beyond that, there isn't much else to say. I loved the progression, I enjoyed the combat, though I found it a bit too convenient, detective mode too easy, items and technology, I don't know, I would have liked it to be a bit more varied. I didn't like the entire kind of RPG element where you've got to unlock XP to get a new item. It's like, okay, Batman probably spent years creating his items, why does he have to unlock it? It would be better if he just kind of had stuff hidden around in locations, or had to find stuff to create it, like there and then. That just kind of felt weird and weak to me. How does Batman upgrade his armor on the run? I know, I don't know entirely how to feel about that. But hey ho, beyond that, I would without a shadow of a doubt suggest the series if anyone was asking me whether or not to play it. So that's kind of the wrap up. I am just about to start a film podcast, and one of the titles I have just watched, the animated Adam West Batman film, Return of the Crusaders, I think it is. I'm not sure on the title right now, but I've just kind of watched that, so I might throw that into the mix for my podcast, my upcoming film podcast. So if I do, I'll throw a link to that down below. I've written a blog post, as always, on this game, well, on the same topic as this game review, so I'll put that down below as well. I've been silent, you guys have been great. Stay safe, have fun, take care, and remember, you are somebody special to somebody special.